And we are back.
That we are.
Oh, we're so back.
Just like that, we're back.
Boys are back in town.
Does that mean you, Kaz, and I need to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it
See
was
you guys
fun.
later.
Okay,
Thanks
bye.
for being here.
No, don't leave, please. Don't leave, please.
All skeleton campaign, I guess?
Go.
Would it truly not be the domain
to the
of Dread?
bones.
Yo.
Oh my gosh! Why don't the three of us have a D&D podcast called Rolling the Bones?
Oh,
that's
I am so
good.
mad that we don't now.
well,
It's
hey,
even
we can
po-
always do it in the
Like,
future.
pocket it. Write it down.
Yep. Writing it down
Claim the
right now.
website.
Yeah, I wish I would collect them more because part of that's actually my Twitch alert too, is Rolling Bones on the bar top.
Nice.
Incredible.
We can
One shot,
absolutely
oops,
fun.
all skeletons.
I'm pretty sure there's enough skeletons within like the local net that we can round up like 5 or 6 of them for a game.
I have no doubt.
Adding it to the list.
The ever-growing list.
I used to laugh about the ever-growing list. Now it's just an actual list.
Yep.
It was funny until it's true.
Yeah.
Bon's on his Chris Jericho arc.
Don't put that evil on me. If anything, the only thing I'd want from Chris Jericho is an ab regimen, because he manages to get him back every time he leaves.
That man got a clipboard over.
Yeah. But do we want to start going around the horn?
Sagely nods. Let's do it. I can go ahead and start. Hello, hello. I am your GM DM for the evening. You can find me all over the internet at TixDixel. Sometimes on Mondays, when we have scheduled, we sometimes play games over at the Amusing Thalias channel. On Fridays, we do Cazador's Guide to the Cosmos over on Distortion Devil's channel. Every other Saturday, we have a doubleheader back here for some more No Love War Extra, and then over at my channel for more of the Lost and the Found. And then, of course, every other Sunday, you can find us here playing this game that you're about to watch. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for having me. I am going to pass the talking skull to... I have a wheel open. To show the wheel pick. I'm going to toss it over to Skelly.
No, impossible. Hi, everybody. My name's Skelly Alpha. You can find me at Twitch and Blue Sky under the same names. Lot of D&D prep streams coming up in the near future. Going to be working on getting the Westwatch that I run in my Discord up and running again. And we're going to be working on remaking the base map for all 30 players. So we got to get that running again with Jumpgate. So then a couple streams are going to be for that. I'm also going to be doing some fun collaborative art streams with Blue Cosmonate and one Tixel Dixel. So it'll be a really good time. That's really it for me. I'll have the schedule up later this weekend. I will pass it to... I'm going to roll dice for the rest. I'm going to pass it to Leah.
Hello, I'm Leah, aka Amusing Thalia. I'm here on Sundays doing either this or Suits. You can find me on my channel on Mondays playing video games with friends, hopefully near tomorrow, provided everyone is around and interested in doing so. Other than that, Thursdays on my channel doing some Suits and that kind of stuff, and other various places doing other TTRPGs. And just thank y'all for having me. I gotta throw this to someone. Let's alternate between the skeletons. So I'll throw it to another skeleton. There you go, Zan.
Hi, it's me, making skeleton noises. You can catch me tomorrow, twitch.tv/Xanimals where we're going to be continuing our final arc of Star Wars Souls campaign I run for you friends. So if that interests you, that'll be there. Then Tuesday, twitch.tv/distortion devil at 1 p.m. PST. We've got some more Vec and the Eve of Ruin. Yes, it's back. Castero's back. Aside from that, we've got Thursday, twitch.tv/Montyclue at 7 p.m. PST. We've got some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are, again, final arc. You want to see what the final arcs are? Come on over. We're level 20. It's crazy. Then Friday, twitch.tv/Distortion Devil again. We've at 2:30 p.m. PST. We have some more Kazuro's Guide to the Cosmos, and then I think that's it for me. I might have something else creeping up on a random Saturday or Sunday, so if you want to look out for that, check my Blue Skies Analyst Grim, where I post everything I do when I'm going to do it. Aside from that, I will bequeath the Talking Skull over to Kaz.
I kid you not, every time one of y'all says Cazadors, I physically have to look up and see if someone's talking to me.
No.
Pavlov
It's
reflex.
so bad. Hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me on Instagram Blue Sky at Catastrophe or Sarcastic Vision. Since I don't stream, I'm just gonna tell y'all what I'm working on during stream right now, because I'm always doing stuff with my hands. And today's project is taking apart an old costume because I'm recycling it for all y'all Naruto fans out there. I'm making Kimimaro, the bone guy, out of an old Rui costume, and I'm very painstakingly taking all of my webbing off of this poor kimono, and it's very sad, but it'll be really, really cool when it's done. So that's what I'm doing during game. And that will leave our fearless leader Vaughn.
Well, thank you. Hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, and over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar. This week, if all goes according to plan, we have some Nier with Leah tomorrow and the gang. Then Tuesday, we don't have anything, but the following Tuesday, we might be switching the Cosmic Caper over to a weekly schedule until the month of July. So if you enjoyed all of our crazy shenanigans last Tuesday, then hey, look forward to that. We are definitely not going to commit arson. Definitely not going to commit arson. Someone give me the insurance papers.
Tweets is there. You're going to commit arson.
Yeah. I mean, arsenic may already be in someone's inventory. I'm not going to say who.
She
But...
had a specific request to start with arsenic. I was like, yeah, sure, all right.
It really shows how rarely I actually am aware of being not a guest, but a player in a game, because I keep forgetting that I'm in that game. But it's very fun. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's up on YouTube now if you want to check it out. Then following that on Saturday, like we said, we have No Love War Extra, where, again, we're about midway through the defense of our Yakuza client, and things are going well. But we refuse to actually give his sword a name. No, we're not going to do it. That's where we draw the line, apparently. But following that, on the next Sunday, then we also return back to Threadbare Suits, where we finish our first boss fight. We're already having another fight. We are definitely the most put-together Suits team. Definitely. Most of us are not drunk.
To fight with some loan sharks. This is your choice.
I mean, we're superheroes. Did we have a choice once we heard that loan sharks were involved? I say as the person who immediately will start a fight with any capitalist once I know they're there.
That's
but
the rub.
In game, right?
In game, right? Now you're understanding my Suits game.
I was about to say, for legal reasons, sure. But
my
also...
reaction is the sticker and call chat.
1 second, I tabbed away. Exactly.
Yeah.
But also keep an eye out. Hopefully Tuesday we will finish up Resident Evil 9 Requiem. We are pretty much at the stone's throw with, I want to say, the last 2 to 3 hours left of the game. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so happy we're now back to playing Leon, and I feel like an invincible god with a magnum. So look forward to that. I'm sure I'll still scream like a bitch at least 7 more times. But with that out of the way, it's time for us to listen to our lovely theme song as we get ready for our session.
toad. Hi, guys!
I love that's
Hi,
the first thing the
Vaughn.
crowd heard after Vaughn unmuted. I saw the unmute happen, and I was like, "Oh, it's coming."
Hi, Vaughn.
Hi.
I'm so sorry. I don't know about the rest of you. I am very much full of energy, high spirits, and beans today. All right. Well, since we're back, y'all ready to get somber?
I'm so ready for morbid core. Let's go.
Time to be sad.
Somber, tense.
Morose.
What's a good word? Yeah.
Bereft.
Yeah.
We could pull out
Sad.
some of the like analog horror, like emotions too from Blue Channel that Gooseworks made. We could be dorselessness.
Ooh,
Depressed.
that's a good word.
This is in game, right?
Dreary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Treat-
Oh.
That's a good one. Oh, I see in chat moribund. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Melancholic.
Melancholic.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Same brain.
There it is. Alrighty. Well, who wants to start us off with a recap? What happened last session?
Nose goes.
We
Well-
can describe what happened last session very simply, in which we fought a giant horror wolf.
Yeah, we played with the dog. We played
What the dog
fetch.
doing?
We gave him some
did
Kongs
Can
with
pet the
peanut butter.
dog.
You can pet the dog. Dog is a little fragile though.
I was tug of war.
Yeah, tug of war. Keep away,
Yeah.
but like backwards.
Yeah.
And then Dorg died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog died. Unfortunately, the dog does die in Carticus.
Well, to be fair, it started off dead. So
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. It was not quite alive
it
to begin
it
with.
re-died.
It re-died. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
And then I
then-
believe we went back to the boat. And that's it.
Exactly. Which is where we're gonna start. Cass, do you have a dive inspiration?
I do.
I would like you to pick one skill and temporarily, just for this session, bump the modifier +1.
Okay.
We start our session today aboard the Wayfaring Stranger. The mists of the cauldron, as the waves crash upon the stone, begin to rise. A red tint fills the air, drifting over the creaking wood of the ship. Each of you, varying in your degrees of not mechanical, but probably emotional exhaustion, as many of you came to near-death experiences in a very short amount of time. Literally and metaphorically leaning against one another as you descend down the cliffside into your boat. And now in a moment of calm, a moment of quiet, 5 of you find yourself in this moment, actually alone. For the sake of things, I would like you all to roll me a wisdom check. Actually, I'm sorry, a wisdom save. Let's do a save.
Lucky 13.
25.
Well, that's an 8.
Well,
Starting from the lowest, moving our way to the highest. Ephestial, as you plant your feet on the upper deck of the ship, what is the first thought that comes to your mind?
Overall, probably exhaustion. But beyond that, relief as well.
What does that look like? How does
Um,
that manifest in his body language? And in
I
his
imagine
demeanor?
he stumbles over to the mast and just kind of falls into it and lets himself sink into the ground as he stares off over the horizon and just kind of drifts away, closes his eyes, takes a few deep breaths. Tries to get recentered.
The rocking and creaking of the boat fill your ears, and the wet wood feeling like some semblance of stability in the moment. Technically speaking, this says Vern, the great horned owl, rolled a 12.
I just had that selected as the speech thing.
No,
in the
you're
bottom.
good.
It was
You're
the
good.
winner,
I was
gonna
being a
comment
little
on it.
silly, but Lena, as you find yourself feet planted on the ship, what is the first thought that crosses your mind?
Wondering if that might stop what is going on with the waters and its Skald, or if it might pose a different set of problems. It's obviously connected somehow, but to what degree is really unknown. It was a good thing it was felled, obviously, but she worries what may come next.
How does this manifest outwardly?
Once she gets on the boat on the top deck, she would probably find somewhere just to set down the halberd and just kind of like slowly slump down and lean against a spot. Maybe against the side of the stairs or one of the back walls. And we'll just kind of like head down, just making sure to catch her breath slowly.
Yeah. Again, the creak of the wood enters your ears like a rhythmic tune. The wet wood beneath you, giving you some sense of stability, even if just in the moment. Clem, as you plant your feet on the decks of the ship, what is the first thought that crosses your mind?
I think the first thought that crosses Clem's mind is immediately of... I think it's immediately of the... This might be a little odd, and I just want to make sure I have their name correct on my end. But is probably, oddly enough, thinking of their time with the Vistana, and is their first thought as they step aboard the ship is Sasha. And I think this partially comes from just being in the woods with the mist so heavily prevalent. And I think Clem in this moment has a lot of memories that are swirling around their mind. I think that he is almost preoccupied by them to the point where they maybe like catch themselves staring off into the mists on multiple different occasions, just like almost seeing forms and silhouettes of individuals in them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna keep that 12. What forms do you see in the mist? What do you think Clem sees in the material in this moment?
I think initially it's just vague silhouettes, like they can't make out an individual too much, but I think a blow of wind kind of rolls through the mists and it causes them to swirl almost like dancing, almost like a Vistana celebration, a a feast or a not even necessarily that, it's literally just how meals are with them.
Yeah,
There's music and dancing and chatting and it's boisterous, and I think that for Clem, that is often what life in the mists has been. It's the celebration of life in the darkness. And I think that they're thinking back to that right now as almost a comfort from what they just came from, like in stark contrast to what they just faced in the mist.
you mentioned it's a comfort. What is Clem feeling as a reaction or response to seeing what they perceive as dancing?
I think they miss it. I think there's a longing. I think that Clem, for a moment, thinks back of the goblin village that they grew up in, and even the encampment that they spent time with, the logging encampment they spent time with when they were traveling. I think that the goblin people, while not, though culturally very dissimilar to the Vistana, have a lot of community things in common with it. And I think Clem is just kind of flashing back and forth between those things, and there's a longing there. There's a sadness there, but they do catch themselves looking over their shoulder on occasion towards the other folks on the boat, and they think about Branson singing during a mealtime. They think about laughing with Festiel and talking philosophy and poetry with Razvan. The guilt with Lena creeps up a little bit, but not as much as it has in the past.
Razvan, as your feet are placed on the wood, the upper decks, what is the first thing that crosses your mind?
Kind of stepping on to this place that he considers home for the first time in a very long time for him. He's going to have a moment of being thankful to be in a place that is comfortable to him, looking towards his crew and his friends, feeling much more thankful that they are alive and relatively unharmed, nursing onto his wounds. He is going to find himself alone in one of the lower decks and just sob. Taking moments to recall the creature that we had encountered and seeing a lot of the damage that has been done, not through their own ambitions, but through what was made of them, really resonates and bounces around in his skull and in his heart, and begins to take its toll on him.
The sound muted sobbing echoes of the quiet ship. And last but certainly not least, Branson, as your feet step upon the wood of the upper deck. What is the first thought that crosses your mind?
I would say for Branson, the first step onto the boat is just relief. The adrenaline's starting to fade from everything that happened. The ache from all of his wounds is catching up to him. But he probably looks out and sees like Avestiel and Lena completely drained, kind of just on the deck of the ship. Sees Klim go off looking for Sasha, as well as Razvan go off to his own quarters somewhere. And so he basically steady himself back up, keep his axe out of his holster, and just kind of start pacing around the ship, making sure everything's safe, feeling like everyone else needs a chance to rest. He can get his later.
What does it look like for Branson to be checking the ship? Where do you start? Where do you go?
Branson would start, of course, with the top deck. First around the typical deck where he's standing right here, around the main mast. Just going around checking to make sure there's nothing over the side, making sure nothing's clinging on the side for maybe a barnacle, which would be strange for a freshwater ship, but hey, he doesn't know. Then the bow and the stern. Make sure that, again, everything's okay. Make sure that the anchor seems well steadied. Then probably start slowly going through the various inner decks of the ship, just checking the rooms. If he noticed Razvan sopping, he probably would give them a wide berth and let them have their time to themselves. And eventually just make his way back up to the top of the ship and probably stay near the main mast.
As you do your pacing, Branson, you notice the two other people aboard the ship. One in the crow's nest. You see Sasha. The wind sort of dramatically almost hitting them, making it seem as though they are very, very pensive. Though without even an insight check, you get the sense as they hold out the scope that they're keeping an eye on the horizon and they're keeping an eye on the waters in the depths of the cauldron. As you go below deck, closer to where the kitchen is, right, where the hold is, and in the open space, you find in their humanoid form your feline companion. Seemingly, the best way I can describe this is more or less picking at their nails, trimming their claws, with a dagger. Seated atop one of the large crates down below. As you pass Branson, you notice their entire being perk up.
Well, that certainly took a lot less time than I thought it would. Is everyone back? I will admit, I expected to hear more.
And they sort of look up towards the ceiling.
Everyone made it back alive. But a fight like that, everyone leaves something behind. Let them rest. They'll be themselves in the morning.
One does always leave something behind. I have to wonder, what did you leave behind?
He's gonna walk past, but having the last word, he'll just be like, more than you can imagine.
the sense. Actually, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Sure. What I need. A 20.
20. Yeah, you get the sense that, like, you know how when, for my fellow cat owners, you know when, like, a cat will passive-aggressively lick its paw in your direction? You get the sense that when it flings the blade, clipping off, like, a solid chunk of nail, and then looking up towards your back, you may not necessarily see the full thing, but you can feel their gaze on your back, Branson. You get the slight twinge of passive aggression in that, but they don't say anything else.
He'll make a note of it, but still continue his rounds.
When you finish your rounds, do you return to the upper deck?
Yeah.
By this point, which I would say a good solid 10-15 minutes, I mean, it's a large ship, bare minimum, has passed. For my 3 on the upper deck, what are you up to now? Where are you now? Are you still wistfully looking in the mists or laying on the top deck against one of the masts?
Lena is standing up at this point, most likely looking out to the waters. She looks a little more optimistic now. She looks, I wouldn't say necessarily a smile on her face, but she's certainly not frowning or anything.
Seeing Lena move, Ophestia would probably stand up and stretch and try to get his bearings again and, approach her and lay a hand on her shoulder.
She would obviously turn over to see you.
Just me.
Hey.
Are you doing better?
Yeah. You know, we still have a lot ahead of us regarding this, but if you would have asked me back when I lived at home, just being a simple woodswoman, when I fought a creature like that and lived to tell the tale, I wouldn't have believed you.
Well, you'll have quite the tale to tell when you get home.
There's a slight shudder that enters her body at the thought of going home still, but she stomachs it down and says, "You know what? You're right. Absolutely."
In time. Of course, in time.
How are you holding up?
My head's swimming, to be honest. I don't use magic for battle. Really ever.
You could have fooled me.
Well, it just happened that we knew its weakness. I'll be honest with you, Lena. Seeing that thing upon the horizon, I was shaking so hard I felt my heart fall into my feet. But
I've not seen a creature that big either.
no. And my entire life I've been looking out for myself, but well, I'd never even consider taking on something like that by myself. But knowing that I have all of your help, I don't know, it lit a fire in me or something. So, thank you. I really couldn't have done anything like that without you.
She would give you an actual earnest smile and said, "Of course, likewise."
You're quite amazing with that halberd.
Yeah, you had to learn how to use weapons when being out in the woods. There were wolves and worse things
Naturally,
out and
yeah.
about.
Of course. I just thank you for being here.
course. We couldn't have done it without each other. And saying that, she would actually, like, turn toward where Clem probably was last. And say, we all did it together.
Clem was making their way from the front deck, like from the top deck, and was probably, when you turn and say that, heading, like, kind of stepping down the stairs, and they're running their hand along the gunwales still, sort of just looking out into the mists. They haven't really, like, stopped, but as you say that, and they kind of hear the directionality towards them, she'd look over his shoulder and kind of see you, and they cock a brow, like, almost not confused, but curious, almost. Are you all right, Lena? You seem rather chipper, despite what we just faced.
For a moment, I was a little in disbelief, but facing this cult felt like an insurmountable task. But I guess fighting that gave me a bit of a spark of hope that maybe we can do something. If anyone else tried facing down a monstrosity like that, they would crumple.
Well, and not for nothing, getting rid of it means that we've pretty significantly hindered whatever they were trying to achieve with it.
Maybe a little lucidity after the adrenaline wearing off. Who knows what it could be, but I guess I'm going to enjoy the moment.
Clem, how good are y'all's, like, passive insights?
Passive insight is... It would just be a straight 10.
Yeah, 10 plus insight.
Mine's 15.
15. And I think a Festial might pick up on Clem, not like making a disgusted or annoyed or frustrated face, but it is a maybe remorseful, or I don't want to say reproachful, but they are definitely it's like they have something they want to say, but they don't want to say it because of Lena's mood, and they would just kind of nod their head a little bit. I'm glad you found some strength, Lena.
Thank you for everything, Clem.
Here for you if you need. Forgive me. And they continue stepping down the stairs, and they walk towards the mast where up top they see Sasha and begin to climb towards the crow's nest.
You find Sasha there, again, looking through the spyglass scope.
We can do that if Skelly, if you and Kaz want more, you want it with that scene. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Oh, like scene change, but was just saying where Clem was headed.
Sure. I think for our purposes, we'll do finish up Lena and a Festial, and then move to Clem and Sasha. So the two of you, Branson, I'm assuming, is kind of minding his own business as the two of you stand there.
Mm-hmm. Lena would bring up, as Clem starts climbing, and say, some of those notes and things that we picked up from both the ship that we passed and inside that lair, perhaps while we sail back, maybe we can make something of it.
Absolutely. I took them for a reason. You know, it's always good to have more information.
I still have the container of specimens from that one boat.
Oh,
Maybe
that's right.
Maybe we can start looking into them together.
Absolutely. I have everything in my room if you ever want to compare notes.
Absolutely. We'll have some time sailing to try and dissect this.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Do the two of you move to do that immediately, or is the plan at this point for the two of you to work on that at a later time?
Would probably be like while we're sailing or something.
Yeah, I feel like we need to convene as a group first to like establish the game plan, and then we can
Okay,
do that later.
sure. So, up the ladder, you climb again. You find Sasha using the spyglass, looking out over the horizon.
Have you seen anything?
Well, it depends. It depends on what you're considering is anything.
I suppose worth noting and or is relevant for the ship.
No. That is not one thing that I have seen. However, call it a gut feeling.
Are you worried something lies upon our horizon?
They nod.
Good. Makes me feel less paranoid, as I had the same feeling.
Whatever
There's...
it is here, whatever it is you did, it's not over.
I feared as much.
But I can't tell you why, nor can I tell you how. The mists continue to move about the cauldron the way they do. I heard the myths that among the cauldron's mists, spirits also haunt these waves. However, I did not see such thing.
Just kind of nods and sits with them for a moment, both of them looking out over the water.
Only mists, only waves. The occasional cry of the woods. But nothing more.
Well, whatever lies upon our horizon, we will meet one step at a time.
Did you need something?
No, I apologize. I just wanted some familiar company.
They shake their head when you apologize, as if to imply that that's not what they meant. Company is always welcome.
They nod their head. The others are... I have enjoyed their companionship, and I enjoy their company. Each of them is interesting in their own right. Yet I cannot help but feel a pang of guilt walking by their side.
Guilt.
After my time with the Vistana, I wandered alone for a bit longer before settling in Skald. There was something freeing about traveling with you, not being known, a lack of a name, the ability to choose for myself. But with them, I can't ignore my past.
Tasha sort of tilts their head to the side and narrows their eyes a little bit. As if the people who you surround yourself with don't also carry burdens on their shoulders. I find it odd. We, Vistana, also carry burdens, darkness in our wake. And yet, that does not stop us from moving forward or maintaining our obligations and our companionship. We don't all see eye to eye, and to be blunt, you could call me a traitor. I expect, when I do go home, at least one will look at me with that perspective, but I know I did the right thing with what I could do, with what I knew. Is that not the same for you or your companions?
I hear what you're saying, but I think one difference strikes. When you return, when we reunite you with your band, you know that that is forthcoming. Yet, despite my candor with these new companions of mine, despite me sharing my axe, none of them look at me with that vitriol, with that frustration, with that disappointment. And I find that's almost worse.
But it's not given to you. It's something you give yourself.
What do you mean?
Has anyone told you or shown you that your past is worth clinging to in such a way?
They consider that question almost like they've never even considered not holding on to their past. It's kind of like asking a like musclehead, someone who goes to the gym every day, have you ever thought about like not working out? They're kind of like, it is very much diametrically different. As Clem, in their own head internally in the moment, they've spent pretty much their entire current life devoted to rectifying wrongs of the past. And I think in response to that, they say, I do not even know who I would be were I to give up my past.
You do not say to give it up, right? We are the story we've woven together, like threads of a tapestry, and we cannot ignore the knots, the ups and downs of the weave. However, any artist may look at their tapestry and choose that they wish to weave something different. That's a choice they have to make. I have chosen, despite all of my best interests, to search, to hunt. I am not a hunter. But here I am, hunting answers. I know that this is what I wish to do. And despite everything that has come up to this point, I do not regret. Because I know this is a choice I have made. And I continue to make choices. I could wallow in guilt. But what would that do to me? How would that inhibit me? Prevent me from moving forward? If I am to be free, then I must allow myself to be free. I know that everyone sees the same way. However, that is my choice. I am scared, for sure. Make no mistake, I go back on that other boat. I don't know what will happen, but I made the choice. I made the choice to come here. I made the choice to join that other boat in the first place, that other crew. Do I regret joining that other crew? No. One argue I might, or I should, but I don't. If your crew has given you no reason to hang on, and you're seeking freedom, then my friend, freedom is a choice you must choose, that you must give yourself.
And what if I don't deserve it?
Who said anything about deserving? This is Carthagis. No one in Carthagis deserves half of what they do, and yet they're here, and yet they do. This is a world full of inhibitions. Gone. This is a world full of bravado and choice and they just kind of make this face of like clear disgust. You've seen it, I've seen it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. In a world like this, what does deserving have anything to do with it?
They think for a long time on this one. Do you think that if our world is built in such a way that people rarely get what they deserve, then is me pursuing retribution futile?
They shrug. They shrug at that.
They smile at that and kind of nod their head. Yeah, you know, I should not have expected you to know the answer to that question, if I don't even.
You know, seer, I don't pretend to be, but I don't think retribution, if that is your goal, is futile. It's just as futile as me hunting a cure. A cure for gestures. Makes a wide berth gesture to the situation.
I miss Ava. I feel like she would know what to say.
And yet, for some weird reason, I feel like the madame would say nothing helpful.
I don't think you're wrong. Thank you for talking with me.
Whatever you choose, do what feels best in the moment. Even if, in other circumstances, someone might disagree. Just do it. At this point, they kind of look down straight below them at the duo. I think there isn't a single person on this ship who is able to look back. And for the record, they're looking straight at Ephestiel and Lena when they say that.
They nod their head. Sasha,
Hmm.
may I have a hug?
Sure. You gotta understand that the hug is
Mm-hmm.
a little awkward. Like, this is someone who probably doesn't give hugs a lot. Also, if have you ever hugged somebody where like their upper body strength does not equal their lower body strength?
Oh gods, yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Is their upper body is definitely stronger than their lower body.
Clem will just embrace them for a moment before giving them one final squeeze, and then just point forwards and back, point forward deck and aft deck. I'll look this way, you look that way. I don't want this ship sneaking up on us.
And as the conversation teeters out into silence, we move again lower to Rosvan. Are you still below deck?
How long has it been, roughly, since we got back?
At this point, it's been a solid like 20, 30 minutes.
And taking a moment to himself again, he'll collect himself, take a few breaths, maybe swig a little bit of his wine before heading out into the decks proper. Is Juji around?
Juji is still below deck, but they haven't moved.
What form is Juji in?
As on the map, they're in their humanoid form.
Razvan will just give a kind and polite nod to Juji. Clearly has gone through a few emotions. What's her demeanor looking like?
A little irritated, but largely just kind of, if you've ever seen a person like they're like tapping their foot, kind of rhythmically against the floor, again, kind of idly just picking at their claws with their dagger.
Kind of recognizing the situation being we need to get moving. You'll take a breath and head to the top deck.
As you do, there is a call up to you saying,
If you do decide you want to talk, I know that look. You know where to find me.
You have said many words, Juji, since arriving here. I worry very few of them matter. Actions that I can still do. And you'll head
Whatever
up to
suits your fancy.
you'll head up to the helm.
and up at the helm, the four of you, and with Clem at the crow's nest, you all seem to gather.
Upon seeing Rosvan come topside, Lena's attention will probably break from Ophestial and like look over and like head over toward Rosvan, almost like pulling like Ophestial along with a little bit. And we'll go over to Rosvan. I should probably move my token to represent this better. And we'll head over to Rosvan and say, Rosvan, are you okay?
No. But we need to get moving nonetheless. Captain!
He would follow Lena. Yeah,
Permission to set sail?
we should head back. Yeah.
If we need to have words, we'll do so on the way. And he'll release the rigging.
Lena will quietly nod and would go over to assist with helping, like, ready the sails and the like.
Branson just heads to the front of the ship and starts pulling up the anchor.
I'd say once we get moving, he'll look towards Lena as well as the captain, and keeping a hand on the helm, look towards both of them with a nod of like, okay, if you want to talk, we can talk.
Lena would look over toward Ovesio for just a moment before saying, is there anything you want to talk about? You seem troubled.
I am wounded more than just physically. There are scars I didn't realize existed upon me that I am having trouble shouldering. But I am more concerned about you, both of you.
I cannot speak directly for Ovesio, obviously, but I'm hopeful, if that's a strange thing to say.
It is relieving, at least.
I think doing something toward the cult might have been an insurmountable task, but filling that beast, despite its difficulty, gave me a little bit of hope.
I could not have done it without you.
Likewise, without you either, of course.
That's not so true, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, don't sell yourself short, Razvan. You do a lot for this crew. I don't think we would even have gotten here without your assistance. Actually, we definitely wouldn't have even gotten here without your assistance, so... I don't want you to feel like your troubles don't measure up to ours.
It is not that. Anyone can sail a ship. Anyone can be a kind and lending ear. But it takes a certain kind of person to look towards the mountain of peril ahead and to fight anyways. And that is what I see in all of you. You fear, sure. But you press on anyways. And every fight we've encountered since I've walked through the mist, I have nearly died. My spells have meant for nothing. My blade has rarely met its flesh or its mark. I've had to be the expenditure of every amount of healing magics or ability. I feel like a burden. And while I know you will say that I am not, these feelings persist nonetheless. But that feels selfish of me. For while these feelings have lingered for some time, in truth, what harms me the most is seeing that creature as it was. A monster not of its own making, but of one that was forced upon it. To be mindlessly locked in its way. Its monstrous way. At the whims of someone else who does not care. I felt in my heart so passionately that we had to stop it. Yet I could do nothing. And I am thankful that you were all there to do something.
You need not prove yourself to us. Your helpfulness and, honestly, your support is plenty enough for us. You help us just as much as we help you. And I fear, if they've made that, I'm certain there's other creatures that have been created as well.
I am grateful for your words, truly. But I think that I am not worried about how I fit in with my friends or how they see me. In truth, I saw the reflection of myself in that monster, and I did not like what I saw.
Hephaestus takes a deep breath and reaches out and grabs your shoulder tightly. I kind of understand that sentiment. Believe me, Rosvan, it's hard to try to make a path for yourself when you seem like, well, everyone else is kind of working against you. I know, to us, you aren't a burden at all, but you need to feel confident in that. So, let me ask you, what would you like to do about it? You'll have our full support.
I think the Ros von Fleur that hopefully kindly and graciously has met you and walked alongside you. I don't think I am quite that person. I don't know exactly who I am, but I have feelings as to what I might be, who I may wish to become. And I would appreciate your patience in allowing me to find that out. And while I have suspicions as to where I might lead, I must first speak to Branson.
Of course.
No matter what you end up finding, you mean a lot to us, Rosvan. No matter what form you take.
My worry is that your appreciation is for who I have mimicked to be, not who I am, not who I will become.
Well, I'd be quite a hypocrite if I didn't give you the room to find yourself. Please. Don't feel worried about it.
As you order, Captain. He'll give a smile.
I can watch the helm if you need to speak with Branson.
He'll nod. Thank you, Captain. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
At this time, no, unless you do.
No. He will take a step aside and hand you the helm.
At this point, do you search for Branson?
Yeah, unless anyone else wants to do something, you'll go look for Branson.
Lena won't say anything further, but she has like kind of like a thin smile, like kind of like tracking you as you walk.
He'll look towards you, acknowledging the smile, and will realize he's motioning, but he wouldn't be able necessarily to see that, so he will simply say aloud, "You may join me if you wish, Lena. If not, certainly we will talk later."
I'll give you your privacy. Not to worry, we can catch up.
Very good. And he will go find Branson. Where be Branson?
Branson be right under where all you were talking.
He was here the whole time.
Just listen.
Yep.
Listen, Branson's not great at social situations, but he does realize when it comes typically to this kind of stuff, he only usually makes it worse, so he just stood there and listened.
Branson, would
Taking
you mind-
notes.
Branson, would you mind joining me at the front of the deck?
Lead the way.
Kind of taking a moment to smell the wind, longing for salt but not smelling any. He'll take off his hat. My friend, I wish to discuss a matter most weighing upon my heart, but before I do so, I wish to understand where you are in this moment.
Branson will look meditative for a second, then turn away slightly. As you'll watch, he goes over to, I don't know, is that a mizzen mast, technically, the second one?
It can be depending on the ship, but I get you.
Yeah. As he goes over there, and you'll watch, he takes out his, one of his hand axes, and he pries the nail out of it to take his lantern back that he hung there before they went to fight. At least I'm pretty sure I did that before that, but, either way, he turns back and just goes, "It's been a while since I fought a horror like that. I'm just glad everyone made it back. A handful. Nothing that's horrid or evil. But enough things that would hunt people in the night. I'm just glad everyone made it back alive. And with all their pieces."
Wait, are you injured?
Nothing that won't heal with rest. You mended me well enough before we set back to the ship. As he just kind of, like, he pats his breastplate. You watch as he immediately winces slightly as realizing that was a terrible idea, but then tries to play it off.
He'll nod. I do not know how to bring this up quite so easily. I am trained in the ways of weaving together words and making them make sense in a way that is easy to read and to follow. But I am finding myself at a loss for words now. We fought this horrid creature, and in their wretches and in their death throes, I must admit that I did not find their make foul. I found the kinship. May I admit something to you? My oldest friend.
He'll nod and gesture for you to go on.
I am cursed. Not just by the lineage of my father's sake. And he'll show a fang. But something else. My mother, when she survived what she did and brought me and my brother to bear, there was a lingering curse Every step my mother took, so long as me and my brother were there, was haunted by unluck. Everyone we got close to withered away or died, including my brother. So I ran, Branson. First to Bardic College, and then into the mists. And everywhere I have gone, still yet more people suffer and die. And I thought perhaps that it's just the way of things, but I don't want to believe it's so. I wanted to change things around me. If there is a curse, then to break it. If this is just the world, then I wish to be strong enough to change it. But I'm not. Not even in the slightest.
Branson will try to give a look and see if that's where Razvan kind of leaves off and if he has a chance to speak.
He'll be trying to catch his breath as a lone, mournful tear will kind of roll down his cheek.
Branson will step close. Oh, go ahead.
I think I know where I wish to go next. But I am fearful doing so. Not only because it is beyond myself that it would affect, but because it would certainly affect you, my friend. It was the only one I have met who has stuck with me through all of the trials that we have faced upon entering the mist.
And how would this affect me?
Branson, can you not see? Your lantern light does not shine upon me, but I am cursed with undeath. And if I delve down the strength of what's in my body, what is in my blood, it will still and cool until that your lantern glows blue upon me.
Branson will take a moment and step a little bit closer and place a hand on your shoulder. And he's going to go, "You are easily the stupidest man I have ever met." Razvan, he'll roll his eyes. Razvan, I have looked into the face of true evil. I have seen what the world will give any man, and it is nothing. If you want to change, you are already better than the world. You want to get stronger? Get stronger. Change the world. Because only you will be able to change it. And if I thought that you would ever turn into anything so horrid as that creature, as I said when I first met you back at the carnival, I would have already cut you down. I honestly do not think that there's any form of true evil in you. Honestly, to be frank, I feel like if there was any evil in you, you've already smothered it.
In truth, Branson, that is something I fear. When I was young, I tried to be like my gallant captain, believing that is what I was supposed to be. And when he died, I didn't know what to do, so I tried throwing myself into my studies, becoming a bard, a storyteller, an artist like my mother would have wanted. I became a Razvan for her. And when that didn't work, I tried to become what my brother would have wanted, to be an adventurer. To be charismatic and kind and always inviting. hasn't worked either. But there is a strength in me, one that I see and shudder away, that yes, I do indeed smother every night I slumber. A power. It is inside me that I know I can make manifest, but that I suspect would give me more powers of an undead nature. You will not find me monstrous if I seize it.
Branson's gonna do something you haven't really seen him do much throughout the adventure. And he's gonna reach down to the little flap in the front of his lantern, and he's just gonna close it so there's no light shining anymore. You talk about how you tried to be what everyone wanted you to be. Have you thought about for a moment, no one here has wanted you to be anything but yourself? The moment we set foot on this ship, for complete gormless idiots, you immediately stepped up as the first mate. You gave the captain everything he needed so that way he could lead us. Even now, the first thought you had once you were in your own faculties was to get us moving and protect us. I am not a gambling man, but I'm going to bet on the Razvan I know. And if he turns into a monster, I kill monsters.
That is my fear, friends. And I suppose something that I would like to vow to you. Knowing the strength of, well, the legends, the kind of creature I may be, I will be able to do things that many would seem as unnatural. Delve into the necromantic arts and seize that power from myself, certainly taking it away from our enemies. For this is what I wish, Branson. Not to use necromancy or the strength of my blood to harm others or to prey upon them, but to actually make change, and to take power away from those who would use it and abuse it as such.
Then I will give you your line so that you may not cross it. And he'll watch as he'll, probably stupidly, but more for the sake of symbol, since he's trying to make a point to Razvan, just take his axe and carve a slight line in the deck below them. I've learned that magic has much more nuance than I would ever was led to believe. But when it comes to necromancy, there's one thing that is plain. Whatever magics you weave, leave the soul's rest. The second you start forcing them to do your bidding is the second I cleave your head from your neck and pierce your heart with my axe.
He will nod very affirmatively and quickly so. I have no interest in imprisoning anyone. But if I can find a body that has been taken, its soul no longer attached, there is power in that. And I will use it against our enemies.
Alright. Now, we have had a very long day with very many injuries, and I fear that Ophesiel is starting to lean into the current. Go take the helm until we lay anchor. Let everyone get their rest.
Aye, Branson. Thank you for hearing me out. Fuck it. He's just gonna give you a huge hug.
Oh, the
Yeah.
immediate uncomfort. The immediate uncomfort of just... arms up at his side. This hug probably goes on for too long. One arm comes down, pat on the back.
Thank you for being my friend, Branson.
Thank you for being mine. Now seriously, get up there, we're starting to drift.
He will smile, put on his hat, wipe away a tear, and head back to the helm.
Excellent seeing you two. Major claps. Major claps. At this point, are there any other conversations, any other things to be done before we move into what is coming?
I'm good.
All good on the immediates on my end.
Yep, I believe so.
All right, then this is where we're gonna take a really quick break because now's a really good spot for us to pause.
Will
Got
do.
it.
Good stuff so far, gang. Good stuff.
Yeah, no,
Ooh.
legitimately.
It's gonna
Claps
simmer
all
on that
around.
one for a minute.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Love you too, Zan. That was great. Also, thanks, Clary. Apparently, we're getting a standing ovation.
When you called him an idiot, I almost spit out my water.
I was
Good seeing you too.
Yeah.
I was really glad that I was on mute for that because as soon as you were like, "You're an idiot," I just please.
I weaponized Branson's awkwardness at my own
It's
leisure.
It was
so
it was
good.
it was
It was
perfect.
so good. It was so good.
It works so well. Okay, I'm a BRB.
I am also gonna BRB. Don't forget
Go right
to
ahead.
drink your legs and stretch your water.
But yeah, I'm glad chat's having so much fun. Also catching on things. I want to thank Hat for the raid earlier. It scared the piss out of me. If you're still here. But yeah, I was also speaking with a friend of the channel, Blue, the other time of the week, and while they were having their art stream, and this is one of the things I do love about this game is that it's slowly increasing the number of characters I have who have a technical real estate portfolio. Because in one game I now own, in one game I now own the Troll Skull like Inn. In another game I have gotten almost complete squatters' rights over an abandoned factory, and here I help own a boat.
You're getting a lot of equity, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. There's been a time if we have any more time for funny boat shenanigans, which may or may not happen, I've been in the background being like, Branson's just trying to figure out what the hell am I, a quartermaster, am I a bosun, what do those things do? I'm too afraid to ask. I knew first and second mate, and that was about it. I didn't have any books on sailing.
Y'all got books.
He had books. He grew up around a wizard. There were definitely supposed to be books, probably.
Probably. At least one.
Yeah. Well, I will let you take over chat once again, Sarah, as I step away to take my quick break.
Yeah. How's it going, chat? How we feeling? Lots of emotions. Fantastic to see the entire crew breaking it down and going, all right, so I have a lot of feelings, and this is what they are, and I need to express them. It's very good. Very juicy. Hello, Rock Bottle.
Time for the Sarah's halftime show.
Yeah. Used to be a thing where we would discuss stream renovations. Who doesn't love a little emotional damage? You're so right, Buttons. Glad to see you're doing well, Bubba. Can you tell Zan he is the best goth that gives the best hugs? Absolutely.
It's true.
100%.
Having met Zan at Anime Detour, it's very true.
Yup, it is true. It is true.
Very true.
I'm back.
I'm
What
also
the
back.
fuck is happening?
Can
I
confirm,
appreciate it.
Zan gives incredible hugs. Is also extremely welcoming, and like, if you ever visit him.
What is happening?
You're the
Appreciate
best
it.
goth.
You're
that gives
getting
the best
praise,
hugs.
dog.
Yeah, true.
You activated everyone's feelings button, so now of course they have to gush at you.
No.
To quote Clary in the chat, we love feelings. Yeah.
He's also
We do love
extremely
feelings.
handsome, but that's a side note.
No, I can. I second that. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Sagely nods.
I'm gonna hide.
I'm gonna come over there. I'll get him out.
Oh wait, you can. Damn
BRB.
it.
Yeah, I'll meet you there, Kaz. I'll meet you there.
Coax him out with some wine.
I also just love the fact that, like, as you said, Saris, everyone decided that they wanted to have feelings. Meanwhile, I just did the like OC meme of who's been to therapy, and Branson was definitely in the top left corner of I don't need therapy, desperately needs therapy.
Yeah.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Also, welcome in, Rosso.
Yeah, hey Rosa.
Oh, yo, what's up, Rosso?
I always struggled to put Clem on the like therapy thing because there's no section for is the one who gives therapy.
Right?
Mhm.
Is just a therapist.
Is a
True.
is a
Is
literal
the
therapist.
therapist.
True, but all great therapists also have therapists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would also be in the denial about whether or not they need therapy section.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ophestial got the desperately needs therapy and is very well aware of it.
He's like the one in that corner.
Yeah. He's like, I know I'm fucked up. I'd like to fix it. I don't know how.
I need a slot that's needs therapy, doesn't have time for therapy.
Ugh.
Also, yes.
I feel like with Branson, it's the is this a pigeon meme, but it's is this therapy, and it's a picture of his hand axes.
It'd be
Is this
either
therapy
that.
calling your friend an idiot.
a little
Is this
bit. A little
socializing? Am I doing it right?
I would say, like, for him, is this therapy holds up like a fucking mead like mug?
Yeah.
Well, let's just start a tier list of coping mechanisms.
Oh no. Is the scale from healthy to unhealthy? Or unhealthy to unhealthy-er?
Yeah, that one's the one I'm on.
And then S tier is just, you probably gave up.
Coping, what's that? Alright, are we all back?
Yee.
Yeah.
From outer space, I just walked in to find you here.
Amazing. So that's a Skelly, that's a Vaughn, that's a Leah. Do I have a Kaz?
Yeah.
Do I have a Zan?
Yeah.
Alright, we ready to get rocking and rolling?
Yeah.
Yee.
Alright.
Yeah.
I would love whoever's at the helm to make me a survival check, and whoever is in the crow's nest to make me a perception check.
You got it, boss. That's a 17.
11.
And then, do I have a perception check from the crow's nest, or from birds in the crow's nest, or?
May I
Is
give
there a crow
Sasha?
in the crow's nest?
Oh, There is a crow in the crow's nest, in fact.
Sorry, you were saying about Sasha?
I was just gonna give. May I give Sasha advantage?
Sure.
And then I will make a flat roll for Omen.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you don't have any bonuses to perception. You're a fake crow.
It truly is. All right.
Got ADHD.
Crow with ADHD, poor thing. That poor fucking thing. Every shiny on the way is just, whoo!
Wasn't it a good thing that there are no shinies on the boat? All right, a 17, an 11, and a 16. The 17 is definitely a save here. As you traverse the choppy waves of the innermost and most dangerous part of the cauldron. It does truly take the four of you to keep the ship afloat. But with clear instructions given by, I'm assuming, Razvan in this case, and with the work that the four of you have done, you are able to keep where you need to be and maintain direction against a mighty and treacherous current. The waves do crash over top of the ship. If any of you were planning on staying dry today, that's just not happening. The water's mists are so thick that you almost assume that they are the treacherous mists of the realm, and for a moment, you can't tell the difference. On a 16 perception, Omen is able to see over the horizon, right? The exit point of what is this battle. Sasha, as well, able to determine from the behind, right? There is no one coming. There is nothing coming. There is a storm from behind, likely heading away from the ship, and a clear exit out. As a lot of you make your way, traversing the roughest and choppiest part of the journey, it takes you until nightfall before you are able to successfully get out and into more stable waters. Before evening, is there anything anyone would like to do now that you've reached a calm?
I do think a small thing would just be like when Clem comes down from the crow's nest, would walk up towards Razvan and place a very firm hand on the shoulder. You are one hell of a helmsman. I am not that familiar with boats, but I do fear that we would not have made it out without you.
Very kind, but it is not quite so difficult being on, not the sea. The currents here are calm.
I think you sell yourself short. I would not agree that the currents here are particularly calm.
The waves here, as they are not the size of our ship, are they?
Clem kind of froze their eyes. Is that how big they get where you're from?
Even larger upon the open sea.
And yet you've weathered those as well. They smile, kind of like, hmm?
You'll see he kind of, when you say you've weathered those as well, he kind of doesn't feel great about thinking about that.
I'm sorry, did I say something wrong?
No. My brother and the man that sort of adopted me as his son. They died at sea.
Then I apologize for my careless words.
No, you were being kind, and I appreciate that. It is just it's a hard memory.
Loss is no small thing, and it is very common in these lands. Should you ever wish to talk about it? Well, I don't have a door here, but my ear is always lent in your direction.
You'll nod. Again, very kind. I know not what to say outside of what my poems have expressed. When there is a need, I shall seek you out.
Then I look forward to our conversation. Captain, your orders? Looks towards Hephaestiel, giving you the out.
Captain?
Ophestial, who probably looks pretty exhausted from trying to body the helm to keep them as on course as possible, decides to step down and approach the bow of the ship to get visuals.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
June as a 24.
24 both sides. You see what feels like for the first time in a while a stillness. There is something off to it. Almost like the eye of a storm, it feels to you. And Hephaestiel, you've had your fair share of storms. It is calm. The river itself beating against the wood rhythmically. The trees silent, unmoving. And as the sun begins to set on the other side of the overcast, night beginning to creep, there is an almost silence besides the ambient waves below. You do not see anything. But in this moment, you aren't sure that that's necessarily a good thing.
Well, for now it seems like we have more stable waters. We should try to get our rest in while we have the chance.
As you wish, Captain. Who wishes to take first watch?
He just watches Branson throws his hand up, like always.
And I leave the helm to you. I suppose Rosvan will head downstairs and I guess try to seek out Juji first.
Sure. Juji can be found at this point actually in the kitchen. If you go searching for them, you will find that they're kind of peeking through the cupboards.
Juji, I am planning on getting rest. I would be very thankful if perhaps you stayed by my side. I've had ill dreams as of late and could use the company.
What an odd request. I can't say that I've ever had someone ask of that of me before.
They sort of ponder it for a moment, mulling over it.
I suppose that wouldn't be too odd, given the number of places here.
And they pop something into their mouth. You don't quite catch what it is. Clearly some sort of food. Chewing on it, swallowing it, before they themselves transform. And again, it is such a gruesome sight to watch bones snapping and changing, skin shrinking to leave a pile of clothes on the ground. As you witness a cat
Oh, that is
take
fine
their
too.
place.
For Roswan's side of things, he doesn't shy away at all. If anything, he actually has a bit more appreciation that Juji can just do that.
They kind of look up at you, like, is this what you expected?
In either of your forms, your presence, it soothes me. Just being around you. If you wouldn't mind, good.
Sorry. Nope, you first.
If you would not mind, just staying in the room while I try to find some sort of peace in the rest.
I will not deny, you are a very strange one, my friend. But sure, if it is company that you want, I suppose I can offer it.
Thank you, Juji.
You're gonna
And,
pad upstairs.
Razvan will go to a bed and try to find some rest.
You find, for the sake of things, that Juji largely doesn't stay like in the middle of the floor, but like until such time as somebody else comes downstairs, they're gonna occupy one of the other beds.
Love that for her.
They just kind of like find a pillow nearby, curl up.
What are you talking about? That's her. That's
sorry?
their bed.
Yeah, currently, yeah. And it is absolutely a croissant shaped time.
Just loafing it out.
It's not quite a loaf. It's definitely
Yeah.
a croissant, you know, with the
Because
legs.
isn't like
sticking out of the head.
loafing? Yeah, loafing is like when they tuck all of the legs under the
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
and I think croissanting is when they do the like crescent shape, the croissant.
Yeah, it's the we're not full pretzel, so like legs are out, but they're not pulled fully over the head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they pass out. I mean that's a cat. They pass out very quickly.
Roswell will try to do the same.
Yeah. Besides Branson, is anybody else staying up, or is everybody else going to get their rest?
I think for funsies, Clem and Sasha fall asleep back to back in the crow's nest.
Oh, your poor backs.
Yup.
Yeah. Ophestial will head to his room. Probably staying up for a little bit, trying to kind of gather any materials, drop off stuff that he's taken that he had yet to unload. And gets himself comfortable and tries to go to sleep.
Sure thing.
Lena's gonna spend a little bit of time, not too much later, but it's gonna spend some time reading some of the stuff, some of the paperwork that came with the toolkit of specimens and stuff gathered from the lair.
Okay. Do me a favor, and
Yeah.
it'll garner you different information, but your choice: investigation or nature check.
Alright. See, investigation or nature. Well, both of them are terrible. But nature feels more what she's going for. 18.
18. So this is going to sound like a silly question, but I promise it matters. And I want you to answer based on Lena's knowledge here.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think Lena knows about the difference between poisonous and venomous?
I feel like that might actually be kind of important. She's a woodswoman, so knowing like things like that, like the difference between like like eating this or like getting bit by this is the difference between the two.
Okay. Because you've taken paperwork from a ship, right? I'm assuming, just to clarify, it's from the ship, right?
Yeah, I would assume like Lena has gathered the like things from the lair, things from the ship, the couple of dubious bottles of substances that she collected off the shelves,
Right.
and
Right.
and the briefcase like container of specimens.
So the first thing that you're gonna notice as you're kind of looking through the briefcase, and this is I think for the start of things, because what we're looking at is like a huge amount of information, right? There's so much. A lot of it super technical. Let's be real. A lot of it is super technical. Some of it is even theoretical. You're not even sure to what extent this holds validity, right? You would assume so, but you're not a scientist.
No.
You're not a poisoneer. You're not an alchemist. You're not quite certain. But a pattern you start to pick up based on your own knowledge. You start, as you're going through, being able to categorize poisonous and venomous between the samples in the briefcase. It's not a lot that you're able to get through, because it's, again, so much, but you start to parse that detail specifically.
All right.
And you start to notice, and this makes a lot of sense, but you start to notice there is a higher propensity for poisonous, right? And this seems to be a thing that brings you pause. And I'm going to mull over a question I know the answer to. I'm going to put this in front of you as something for you to try to see if you can ponder. And maybe even develop future questions, because I know where your line of thought is at, and I know what you're looking for above table.
Mm-hmm.
How would you categorize this fungus and this mold and these mushrooms? I'm gonna let you sit with that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit with that.
I'm gonna let you sit with that. I'm gonna
gonna
let
sit
you,
with
you as a player, sit and mull over all the information you have. I'm gonna see as you ponder that.
Those who ponder.
Those who
Yeah,
ponder.
those who ponder. Raid message located.
How long does Lena stay up?
She wouldn't stay up like irresponsibly late. When the tiredness starts to really hit, like she will set the papers and everything aside and let the night take her.
Okay. And I will say this for the sake of brevity. All 3 watches go off without a hitch. Nothing happens. You don't see anything. But again, there's this unwavering feeling that just because you are in calm now does not necessarily mean that calm is on your horizon. And as the day breaks and you move forward, we are actually going to move forward not 1, not 2, but 3 days. Unless anybody protests.
Do we get a long rest?
Well, yeah.
I say that 3/4 jokingly.
Yeah.
Where'd you get a 3/4 joke? That's crazy.
You know, it took some like Pokemon breeding.
I
That's
I would
Go ahead.
I would ask if Alpha's okay with it. I would want to try to have a moment with Branson and Lena, say probably between watches on a different night.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So I'd say probably when you come up to like relieve Branson, you'd see that he has a perplexed look as he looks like he was just sharpening his axe, but now he's looking perplexedly at the blade and at the whetstone quizzically.
As Lena comes topside, carrying her halberd with her, she would kind of like lean it, like set it down like on the ground, and kind of like have a boot on top of it to keep from like sliding overboard kind of deal, and would look at your axe then to you and would say, "What's on your mind, Branson?"
Oh, Lena. Several things. This, as he just kind of gestures, like vaguely with both the whetstone. This, I absentmindedly have a tendency to sharpen my blades. Not that I have this magic whetstone until I take it back, but no matter what I do with my axe and the stone, it gets neither sharper nor duller. It doesn't even leave a striation along the blade.
She like scratches her like the side of like one of the bandages and looks toward it and say, it was magical, right? Or something special about it?
The stone, yes.
Maybe it does something else? Maybe it's...
Not as far as I can tell. It still impressively sharpens every one of my other axes. Just not my... He just gestures with his big axe.
That seems strange. Is there something special about your axe there as well?
Aside from the fact that it was given to me out of a bolt of lightning that split a tree in half?
I would say that's fairly special.
When I have full use of my magic, I'll inspect it in the morning, but since you will have much time to contemplate, I want to speak with you for at least a moment.
Oh, certainly.
I overheard your conversation with Clem back in the caves.
Oh. Yes? What about it?
When it comes to this cult, I want you to take a different lesson to heart, or at least think about something. Specifically, about if you should really give mercy to monsters. All I will say is this. You spared that zealot back in Skald. So, if come tomorrow morning a child came onto this boat and wished to separate your head from your shoulders, I would not stop him if he was to tell of how that man slaughtered his family for whatever the cult asked him to do. Just because they wear the skin of a man does not mean that they are not a monster. And every drop of blood that man spills now is on your hands. So be careful with your mercy.
I know. I worry that going around and wanton killing these cult members, maybe some kind of larger play. I have no explanation of how I was able to escape when I did. I was dead to rights on that ritual altar. Can't help but feel like maybe some back part of my mind thinks this may be part of some kind of grander play. I don't like to think about it much, but sometimes I worry. And
Branson,
I would think... Go ahead.
no, you finish.
And so I can't but worry if they expect me to go around killing. I don't want to be the monster that they wanted to make me. I know it may not be the most ideal thing to spare individuals. Certainly when we encounter the leaders, I won't have any kindness for them. But I like to think being able to steer someone else on a different path may be possible. A little small chance there is.
Well, from what I've seen between the mists and my own patron, it is by but the grace of gods we go. But, as I've had to already make plain, I'm in the business of killing monsters. If I thought you were actually one, you would not be alive. Just be careful with who you give your mercy. I'd rather prefer you live through all this.
I thank you for your concern, Branson. I will make sure to mete it out sparingly.
All right.
I only hope that maybe if I can manage to spare one person's life and they change, it'll be worth it.
If you can live with that burden. But now the night is long. Let Vern be your eyes. I am going to go to sleep and hope that Juji has not claimed my bunk again.
Ooh.
You
I know they do it up.
You mean their bunk?
Yeah. No. But before going down, he's like, I know they do it out of spite, but I'm getting tired. Oh well.
Well, Elena just went, when you said that, just went,
When you go downstairs, by the way, Juji is now in Lena's bed.
Coward! Coward!
No. It's not cowardice. It's not cowardice. Warm.
True, you know what? True!
Fair.
You just left it. You just left it there. All that body heat. There's now. But, like, I need to emphasize, like, when Branson is entering the room, it's not just a matter of, like, oh, Juji is on Lena's bed. It's like Branson watches Juji get off of Branson's bed to go to Lena's bed.
There's a scheme at play.
Body heat. It is truly that simple. You could ask them. You won't. But you could ask them.
Like that's probably the one. That's probably the one thing that they actually like completely agree on. Reptile to cat.
Yeah. So then you can appreciate. So then, hang on. Hold on. No, I'm doing this in character. Hold on.
You activated Saris
You can
now.
appreciate the fact that I left it warm for you.
You watch as he starts taking off his armor. Yes, thank you, Juji. It is much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saris.
Truly the most ominous peace offering.
Yeah, we've also gotten we've also gotten both sides of the Branson therapy coin at this point.
Anyway.
Yeah.
3 days pass. It is on the third night, and I do mean night. Clem, you are alerted by Omen that you see that your lovely familiar has seen a lantern light over the mists in the horizon on the water.
Once it is pointed out to me, I will whistle Omen over and pull out that little notebook that I've described with Clem a few times and scribble something on it, fold it up. Pass this to the captain, please. And I will have Omen deliver just a note that says a light on the horizon.
there's like a knock at your door, like a.
Yep.
Yep. Ophistiel will gather himself and open the door.
What form?
Because of the knocking, I think it's crow form. Because it's
The
the
beak.
beak just donk 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 donk.
Oh, hello, Omen.
And there came a rapping. Oh, sorry.
You see them holding a piece of paper.
He will take it and read it.
Light on the horizon.
Oh, thank you. And he will go top deck.
As you say thank you, they bow their head and then disappear in a poof of smoke.
Like, oh, that's new. Anyways. From the bow, what direction is the light?
In the direction you are heading.
Cool. How far away is it?
Decently. It's a little difficult to tell with the mist of the water and the ever creeping darkness of sunset. But you see the silhouette over the inky black of the water.
Well, based on how many days it's been, I think I might have an idea of what that light could be.
Is kind of sliding down from the crow's nest before walking up to join Biophestial's side.
If that light does indeed belong to that fishing boat we approached on the way here, I'd like to stop in and give them an update.
Be wary, Captain. I just pulled from my deck. Woe is in our future, potentially. I do not know what this means, but be careful.
You know, I feel like that's kind of a standard operation at this point. I simply don't want to create any bad blood. We did take their provisions. If we just skipped out on them, they would either assume we're dead, and if we were discovered later, that would be unfortunate. Or on the other side, well, it would come across as incredibly rude. And I don't want to invite any ill will towards us unnecessarily.
As you wish, Captain, but Sasha and I both have a bad feeling about that ship. Do not be surprised if it comes to blows.
From what you all have told me, I understand. I don't want to stay long. And furthermore, I also don't intend on giving them the full story, just something believable, so we can be on our way.
I trust your judgment.
Branson.
Yes, Captain?
When we do parley with the ship, would you mind accompanying me?
I would dream of not doing so.
Good. Clem, you and Sasha should probably hide below deck, just in case.
As you order, Captain.
I'm certain they'll be asking about Sasha, and I'm assuming Sasha has no intention on returning, unless I am incorrect.
It is likely the case, but that decision is ultimately theirs.
Well, if they have any objections, they can tell me now. Otherwise, I think you two should stay out of sight.
I'll inform them of your orders, and I will let them know that their decision is their own.
Thank you.
I do like a salute. They seem like unsure for a second, but they do a salute, and then I go tell Sasha all that.
You find Sasha still in the crow's nest, actually. It looks like when you both look up, it looks like they were eavesdropping.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
What is your decision then?
If it is a game of choice, the game of chance, I'll take my chances where I see them. If I am to get what I want, then I do not go back on that boat. Understand? If you allow me to do this, and you do not play your cards right, they kind of like click their tongue, snap their finger, shrug.
Well, I will stay by your side, whatever you decide, whatever you wish.
I'm more asking the captain if the captain is truly okay with what they're requesting, deciding.
I can act as an intermediary, Sasha, and I do not mind doing so, especially considering our connection. But I believe that it would behoove you to tell the captain yourself.
I don't think you understand. If I go on that ship, I am not getting back off.
I do. It is still your responsibility to tell the captain, unless you wish me to, which I am offering.
What I am saying is that if you tell the captain that I am on your ship, alive, I do not get to stay on your ship. Not by choice.
Very well. I go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go first.
I think Clem was probably like most of the way up the crow's nest at that point, and they kind of nod their head and will slide down towards Hephaestiel and kind of lean in. Almost conspiratorially, but they're not like whispering. Captain, in speaking with Sasha, they are worried that if you let the other captain know of their continued safety aboard our ship, then they will, perhaps forcibly, try to take them back. We will hide below decks, but it is important for you to know.
Oh, certainly. Then they don't need to know that Sasha's still with us.
Plum just nods their head, accepting the captain's decision.
In common, they would ask, "Where would you have me go?"
Ideally below deck.
Aye, aye. And they will climb down, and they will hide below deck.
I will guard the stairs, and that is where I'm going to put Clem.
Okay. As the lot of you grow closer, what at this point are like? Where are you all located on the ship? What is it that you are all doing? Clem is guarding the stairs. Hephaestiel, what are you doing?
Ophestial, would actually gesture to Branson to have him join, on the side of the ship that they would essentially be exiting on.
What is Lena doing?
Would most likely be topside somewhere. Most likely probably near some rigging in case we need to make a quick takeoff.
Okay. And where is Rosvan in this?
Forgive me. What was Rosvan's orders? Did Rosvan get any orders?
It's a great question.
Kaz?
I did not give him any, no.
Okay. Then I think he will, as he wasn't told to go on the away team, he will simply be watching the rigging and the helm in case anything breaks out.
And with the 5 of you stationed, you see the light of the lantern overhead. And then as the ship grows even closer and closer, you do hear the sound of a bell. Ding, 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 ding. You hear the sounds of shouts aboard the deck from the other ship. Orders clearly being given here and there. Until eventually you hear, "Oh there! Do you wish to pass?"
Oh, can I request a quick parley?
Aye. And then you hear a call to lay anchor from the other ship. As I'm going to reset this really quickly. You'll have to bear with me just a little bit. As I am adjusting based on the other map. As I'm going to allow you the chance of a visual.
Ah, I see.
Yes, just to help you visualize where things are at. You see 3 individuals. One that you recognize to be the first mate of the Lee-side serpent. One that you recognize to be that half-elf rabbit that you saw before. And then another that you don't recognize. Bardish, flourishing, big hat, multiple feathers, clearly to his side, having a sheathed rapier of sorts. They all seem to be like standing there waiting, watching. I see you made a return.
We have, and as per agreement, I would like to relay what information we have found, and then we will be on our way.
Do you wish to board?
If you will have me.
Okay. I don't have... Let me see if I can find a bridge. Real quick. Like a bridge to pretend to be the gangplank.
That works.
I also
Took me
did. I also
literally a
did find
second.
one.
Okay, yeah,
did
you can
also-
delete that. I just put that there just
No,
in
it's
case.
very good. It's very funny. Yeah. I'm gonna adjust this real quick.
Gangplanks are a little low budget.
I will admit this is a really gnarly like bridge, but I feel like it's appropriate for the circumstances. Give me just a second. There we go. All right, roll 20. You can do this. Here we go. Yeah,
That is a
Hey.
bridge.
it is a bridge. Is it a proper gangplank? No. Please use your imagination.
We're just gonna pop on over.
Yeah.
I would say before, even if Estiel like gets off the ship, Branson would just tap his axe against the side of the ship as a precaution, just in case things go very badly. Everyone on the ship now has water walk. You want to make a show of it? He's just going to, like I said, tap his axe against the side of the ship and just charge everyone's feet with black lightning real quick.
Yeah. I almost wonder if there's like a little zap that y'all feel like not like a harmful one, but like, you know, you ever get hit with like static electricity?
You feel the outside of a plasma ball.
Yeah. The captain is not currently available as he is attending to some of his duties. I can act as an intermediary.
That works just as well with me. He requested that we come back with perhaps whatever information we garner from the cauldron upon return.
I remember that.
Yes,
I remember several agreements. And there's like a side-eye glance over to Rabbit.
Well, from what I can tell you, things are not quite as clear as I had hoped. As you know, we did venture into the cauldron because we had some leads on potentially the source of where all of this fungus had been originating from. And I have some good news, some bad news, but for the most part, I think I'd like to remain hopeful.
Start with the bad.
The bad news is that we don't have an answer to how to stop it, for sure. And unfortunately, a lot of what we could have garnered from there had been destroyed. However, we did discover quite a bit about its nature, and I think with proper tools and proper ingredients, my team and I are on our way to developing some sort of, let's call it a fungicide. I don't know how effective it'll be. It's still only in theory mode, and we'll have to run lots of tests, but I do believe we have a starting point for how to hopefully get rid of whatever's been plaguing your waters and return Skald to some semblance of normalcy, if all things go as planned.
Is there a time frame we should expect?
Unfortunately, I can't give you that information yet, but we will be working as fast as we can. There's lots of trials to run. And
How far up the river? Sorry.
I refuse to rule out a product that isn't completely tested and 100% safe, as that would just cause further harm.
Right. And to my next question. How far up the river does the contamination go?
D- did we check? I don't know if we actually checked.
You didn't.
We did not.
check.
He kind of ponders for a moment. Well, a few more miles for sure. It started to get awfully misty when we got pretty far into the cauldron itself, and then once the waters started bubbling, well, I think it's safe to say there was no trace of it whatsoever. But, of course, it was a little bit hard to tell.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh boy, okay. 1 second. Hello. Computer's being weird. Persuasion. That's in that. You know what? You know what? Back up, back up. I have inspiration. We're doing this again. Well, that's a 6.
It's better than a nat 1.
It's better than a nat 1.
So, and I understand that a Festial is not lying. What I was checking here was your confidence. And Boris looks you over, and you can see a mighty amount of disapproval on his face. You're not necessarily certain what he is disapproving, but he's sort of looking you up and down, reading your expression, and he sort of just crosses his arms over his chest. Very well. Is there anything else you wish to report?
At this time, no. Unless you have any specific questions for me.
You very well might. Gonna do a roll really quickly. Okay. Let me get this straight. Evidence of whatever is causing it has been destroyed. Do you have a source of origin?
Well, not exactly. The place that we did find, while very destroyed, was also still nesting quite a bit of fungal byproduct inside of it. Similar to what's been in the water. I can't say for certain it's where it came from, but it definitely was growing in droves. A lot of it in that particular area was pretty dead. So whatever got to it before we did.
And you just
So-
left it to grow?
Well, like I said, we don't really have a way to get rid of it yet. There's nothing we could do at the time. I don't intend on leaving it there, but for now, it's far away from everyone.
Well, you did do what you said you would. You said it was a fungus. Clearly that fungus is able to withstand water. That tells us something. I have one last question. Do you think it's going to continue to grow and contaminate these waters further?
It will, so long as it has something to feed on.
Kind of froze his brows at that. Feed on.
Matter? Anything living? trees, fish, dead or alive, it didn't matter. It's here to consume. That's what was very clear about what we discovered. If you can isolate it, maybe we can stop the spread temporarily.
I don't. Well, if you're saying that it's continued to spread and it's growing on matter, I don't know how far deep it goes. I don't think any of us do.
Not yet, anyway.
Great. This means we're gonna be stuck with infected fish for who knows how long.
I wish I had better news,
I did ask for the bad news, so.
but I assure
Delivered.
you, we're working on it.
You think you have the power?
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know. But it's better than doing nothing.
Kind of eyes you both again. This time his gaze also goes to Branson.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems to be thinking for a moment. Both of you go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay.
It's 20.
15.
You both get the sense, especially with Ephestiel's lack of confidence, he's kind of trying to figure out whether or not you guys are kind of pulling his leg. It's not even just a matter of honesty, right? Because it would be one thing to just outwardly lie, and with Ephestiel's role and his insight, he can tell that you haven't lied to this point. It's more of an ego thing. He's more sizing up your ego in this moment than he is seeing whether or not you're lying. And he's... I don't want to say he's perceiving you both as a joke, but you definitely get the sense that he thinks that you might be biting off more than you can chew.
Well, do you have any further questions?
Just the last bit of our agreement. What of the whelp? I don't see... He's visibly at this point looking at the deck of the ship. I don't see him anywhere.
Ophestio lets his face fall. I'm sorry to report whatever sickness had befallen your former crewmate, they didn't make it.
Sickness. Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
Mm, 15?
Slowly wishing I was the cleric with guidance.
You know, it's odd. You seemed fit as a fiddle until y'all came around.
Part of it was further exposure, I believe, to some of the different types of fungi that we discovered. Not just the black ones, but a very toxic form. The rest of us were able to manage, even if just barely. My crew's awfully exhausted.
And yet I don't see a sign of sickness on you. Well, if it is so deadly, what does it look like? Because if obviously Sasha had it before hopping on your ship. That means Sasha had it on our ship. Means any one of us could have it. What does it look like?
The toxic ones were orange and yellow mushrooms. Gave off spores like you wouldn't believe if you disrupted them. Those spores are dangerous. Sasha was feeling a little, explorative and had to pay the price for it. I
Yeah,
warned
but
them
what
not
did
to.
Was it like a fever? Was it like a oh, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know sickness.
like a poison.
You'll know if your men have it that they start vomiting blood.
Roll me another deception check with advantage.
14.
Noted. Seems to keep his gaze long on both of you. Before speaking up. I warn you now. Captain didn't particularly like what he saw in your first mate. Captain doesn't particularly like your crew. If we find word that that whelp is on your ship and isn't finishing out his contract with us, well, there's one thing that Skald is really good for, is people telling stories. People telling on each other like there's no tomorrow. If I catch wind that either of the two of you have been dishonest with me in this entire conversation, I would keep an eye over your shoulder, especially if you come on these waters again. Do I make myself clear?
Absolutely. You have nothing to worry about.
Get off my ship.
Ophesio will bow at him and then head back to our ship.
That another word. The gangplank is removed. They immediately hoist anchor. And you see as they actually begin to head off in the direction from whence you came. As the sun begins to flirt with the horizon, its last lights peering over. The five of you once again alone on your ship, though you do see the lantern light still on your horizon. The sounds of the other ship still in earshot.
Since it is still nearby, may I kind of nod in Omen's direction and have him essentially be a spy on the ship, like fly towards the ship and try to land quietly?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for Omen.
They will go invisible as they fly over.
They will still need a stealth check if they plan on landing.
Oh yes, absolutely. It is just for the sake of
Absolutely.
posterity. And stealth check.
Ooh.
21. Okay.
And the order that they are given, because after a mile we're no longer able to, or after I think 100 feet we're no longer able to communicate, and after a mile, I can no longer see through and slash hear. But they are Omen is essentially given the direction to make note of anything suspicious that they say or do, and or anything relating to Sasha.
Okay. Duly noted.
Cool.
And that is going to take a minute or so.
Oh yeah, that I imagine Omen will be gone for a bit.
Okay. The five of you stand aboard the top deck of the ship. Is there anything you wish to do before the night fully takes over?
Festival will head down below deck to find Sasha.
Sasha is actually pretty well hidden. You're gonna actually need to make probably an investigation check.
Like, well, you didn't have to hide down here, buddy. Just need to be down here. Investigation 20.
Natural 20. You hear a creaking from this barrel.
He slowly saunters over and gives it a good knock. You know, if you're planning on hiding, you'll have to learn how to be still.
For your information, that was a natural 1 on the stealth check.
Nice.
You hear swearing in a language you don't understand, but you recognize it as like you know swearing when you
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're off the hook for now.
For now.
I don't know how much they bought it, but they believe you're no longer with us.
Wonderful. Fantastic.
So, especially in Skald, keep a low profile.
Duly noted.
However, if you do, then they won't come after you.
I suppose the first thing I'll have to do is figure out how to get rid of this accent.
You know, sometimes learning a completely new language helps.
I have to. Do I need another?
I mean, it's fun. I know 6 of them.
Holy shit.
Perhaps some lessons might be in order later. My treat.
Who are you?
That is an excellent question. And
You see them pop out from the barrel, do like wiggly fingers, and go, oh, so spooky.
not meaning to be ominous, I don't really know myself.
Kind of cock their head to the side of that, look you up and down. They don't respond verbally to that.
I know it's a little presumptuous, but I am not grown up around here. I don't know much of anything about Carticus, but I also don't know much about where I came from in the first place. And I found myself here on a whim. So I am going with the flow, as they say.
Perhaps an appointment with a seer might be useful. Should you ever decide you want to take it, consider it a offering for saving my life.
I will definitely take you up on that.
We have other things to do. We will consider our options later.
Of course. But give it a little bit more time down here, and once we're completely out of their earshot and potential sight, then you shall be free to roam about the ship again.
Duly noted. I shall stay down here. Not to be presumptuous, you don't happen to need an extra set of hands aboard your ship, now do you?
Well, it depends on if we're taking it out again anytime soon. At the moment, I don't know. But if you're offering in the long term, then perhaps.
At the very least, two things have become very clear to me. Number one, my safety has been officially compromised. But if I'm on the ship, and the ship is on the water, by itself, it is no problem. Number two, you seem to know what you are doing. You seem to know what you are looking for. If I want answers, you will have them. But nothing comes for free.
No, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably going to be a fairly dangerous road if you want to continue to follow us. Are you prepared for that?
They shrug. A decision is a decision.
Well, I don't believe anybody on the crew would have any objections to it, so you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. In exchange for your hand.
They have two of them.
You surely do.
With that, they are going to hop out of the barrel and head towards the kitchen area.
And Ophestial will head back up to the top deck.
And what is happening on the top deck?
Clem has not taken their eyes off of the light until it disappears. Like they are, if we're heading in the opposite direction, they are at the back of the boat. They are on the aft, they're on the ass end of the ship for people who don't know boats, and they are just hands on the gunwale, staring off at them.
Sure thing. And we'll get to that momentarily. My other three?
I'd say Branson's standing next to Rosvon, filling him in since Rosvon's the first mate, and also being like, so there's probably like a 60 to 70% chance the next time we see them we'll have to sink them. Is this the kind of boat that can have a cannon?
Any ship can have a cannon, but know what you ask. I'll place a hand on the inside of the ship's railing. This is more than a tool, Branson. This is a home. When you sink another ship, you are destroying not only potentially an enemy, but you are destroying the homes of those who live there and the homes of those who could live there in the future. It is far better to seize the ship and make sure others can use it than to sink.
I was just going with the easiest option. Though, he did not make a friend with their captain, though it sounds like he's arguably just a racist, gesturing towards you, him, and Lena.
The people here are scared, either of monsters or of losing what power they have. They are likely scared. What they do with that fear will judge their character. But
Well.
if you would permit me, Branson, joining me once again at the front of the deck.
Lead the way.
Captain, do you mind taking the helm?
Of course.
And assuming we have a moment. Is that okay, sir?
Yep.
Razvan will take a deep breath, remove his hat again, kind of just placing it onto the deck this time, before pulling out his rapier and looking towards wherever a gathering of the mists might be. Branson, I'd like to make an oath. I'd like to swear an allegiance to myself. But I need you here to hold me to account.
Branson will just nod and just unsheath his axe and just keep it at his side.
Razvan will place the blade in front of his face and close his eyes, taking a deep breath before glaring into the mists the best he can. Dearest mists, what a strange hand you hold in mine. From Onyx, Barhu, Juji, and Humphrey, yet you remained with me in kind. Faces I found within the mists, my friends, my allies, my inspirations, yet you've taken them all at your insist. Longing my mother and brother, their ilkness compelled to fade in my mind. You own my past, present, the other. For yourself I am yours alone. Though I am kept surrounded by the fierce, you are all-knowing, yet unknown. Such cold succor you bring to bed, for cruel yet kind somehow is your love, your tenderness I cannot shed. Shall I wake, my frozen lover? Or are there more pleasures and pains that are your strange and delight to uncover? Has my love kept unquieted? Am I to awaken to the riddles that cast you to the uninvited? No. You vex me, so I shall twin. If one must match your powers for answers, your hands will thus become my skin. So mark every word I have spoken, for this is a warning to you, my love. You know not what you've awoken. And he will, for the first time, place a channel divinity into his rapier and cast it into the sky.
Let's go. What does that look like visually?
It is a faint thing at first, a shimmering, denying any sort of mist or clouds that would be around. It's as though it's glowing in the very daylight itself before it slowly darkens to that of a shadow. And he will turn to Branson, satisfied in his oath, before putting the rapier away. Will look towards you with a renewed sense of confidence and self that perhaps you haven't seen him have before.
Branson would give just a single clap.
I am Razvan Fleur. Not the one you know, or have known. I seek now to change this world for the better, if I can. Thank you for being at my side, Branson.
Branson will nod, step forward, and clap a hand on his shoulder. Thank yourself. You're the one who wants to get stronger, but you'll feel a slight jolt as he'll remember what you said, and so he's had this waiting for a few days. Remove curse. He doesn't know if it'll work, but you saying that how you feared that you had the curse of unluck upon you, he's basically just trying to see if he can get rid of it. And if not, it's basically his way of saying that he's looking out.
I'd like to think that putting the remove curse on him, nothing is apparent. If there was a curse, it wasn't obvious. But whether it truly removed any sort of familial curse or was simply a kind gesture, either way, has the same effect on Razvan's face as he smiles towards you, not in his wry, roguish grin, but one of brotherly love, and he hands you his hand for a dagger check.
All right, he will give it.
Now, let us venture ahead.
Aye, aye, Mr. Fleur, he'll say as he gives what he assumes is a sailor salute.
He'll smile and head back towards the home.
Really quickly, before the scene ends,
Oh.
Branson, roll me a D100.
Will do. 22.
22. Razvan, when he places remove curse on you, you feel a zap of electricity. You aren't necessarily sure what has happened. Something has happened. You could feel it, even if Branson couldn't.
I think the effect will be the same before he gives a warm nod and heads towards the helm.
Sure thing.
Thank you again, Vaughn.
Love you too, Zan. That was fun. Also, that was such a awesome poem for that.
That
Oh,
ruled.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Alright. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before the crow returns to the crow's nest?
I think it's it for me.
I'm good.
You all and it is like right before it is time for first watch, right? We're getting into the late, the dark has hit. Branson, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, weighed anchor?
Yep.
Yep. As the five of you are about to take your usual posts, you hear the slight tap of something hitting the crow's nest and the slight ruffle of feathers. Lena, one falls on your head.
Oh, what the?
You feel it. It's not one of Vern's.
It smells weirdly sulfury.
She would run it near her nose. She's like, huh? What? Kind of cast her gaze upward, or senses rather. What? Hello? She would call out.
Yeah. And you would hear the voice of Omen. Hello.
Hi. Is this yours?
Probably.
What?
Clem walking towards this. I believe it's good luck for a feather to land in your hair. Perhaps tuck it in your ear.
Oh, hang on. I think I can do that. You see her kind of fiddle around, not necessarily with her ear, but actually with the bandages around her head that seem to refuse to come in hardly any distance from around her head. But there's enough space to actually crook the feather quill in.
Add 1 pseudo crow feather to your inventory.
Okay.
It's rather fetching against your hair.
Well, thank you. she seems a little flustered, so they get a compliment. It did. Why was it shed though? Is everything okay?
Omen must be returning. How was your scouting mission? I hold my arm up for Omen to land.
Omen will actually come down fully. Landing on your choice, shoulder, arm, head, whatever.
I have the arm out, but I think it's a pretty common thing for Omen as they're like midway landing for them to suddenly turn into a rat and just kind of plop onto the arm.
I was definitely spotted, but that's okay.
They must have good eyes to spot you.
Inhuman.
Cocks a brow.
There was talk about quote unquote the whelp. They seemed dissatisfied with our answer.
I was afraid as such.
The captain said he could smell.
Did they look like they are turning around?
Not yet.
Was it discussed?
Not yet.
Nods. Anything else worth mentioning that you picked up on?
The captain likes a hunt.
Clem just nods. Then I believe I should inform our captain of that. Ophestiel,
Yes.
I have some information from the other vessel.
What would that be?
Their captain, the one that you did not see on top deck. They've got eyes, ears, and nose far beyond that which we considered. They were able to smell Sasha, and they did not believe you. They are on the hunt. They are not in pursuit now, but it is only a matter of time. I suggest we deal with them before arriving at Skald. But your orders are the ship's will.
Well, I had a fear of that. If they are in fact planning on coming back, though, we can at least prepare for it. And, Ophestiel actually takes his quarterstaff in his hand and kind of bonks it on the ground. And I will cast Pass Without Trace.
What does it look like when you cast?
Kind of like from that impact point, a little invisible ripple of pressure kind of envelops the ship. And at this point, the waves seem to make less noise against it. Everyone's footsteps become silent.
Perhaps I can assist. And Clem holds up their hand and slowly closes the fist, whispering to themselves, calling upon the mists. And for the first time, I'm going to cast my Silent Image at will from my Misty Visions invocation. And I'm going to summon mists to float around the top of the deck.
And I think as mists begin to swirl and as your pass without a trace envelops the ship, before we close, you find on some days, as you continue to travel, the mists appear for real. You lose sight of the other vessel. Is there anything else anyone wishes to do before you make dock or start heading towards the site of Skald?
I think I'm good.
Nothing particular that stands out other than on passing times, just trying to study those books and ledgers more.
Go ahead and roll me 2 more nature checks, and I will tell you what you're able to garner, what additional information.
You got it. A 5 and a 15. Okay.
You know, exhaustion hits. Like, you definitely have for the record, it is multiple days, right? There's definitely a day where you're just like, oh, like you wanna sit down, you wanna be productive, and you're just like, man, it's been so much. Also, like, deciphering, like, for the record, deciphering books and pages without Braille is very difficult. For the record, I would like that to be known. You're able to do it. It's not a problem, but I like to think it takes you a minute of figuring out how you're going to approach it without Braille. On a 15,
You're like converting it to a different language before converting that to knowledge.
Pretty much. On a 15, though, there's one other question that proceeds to sort of like, there's one other question that seems to dwell in your brain as you continue to search and to look. And that is, how long, you don't have an answer to this, but it is one thing that pops in your head, which is, how long do spores last when they're airborne? Is there anything else in the several days that pass?
I would say that Branson just follows through on what he said to Elena beforehand, and probably during one of the days he ritual cast detect magic to discover his axes become magical.
Yeah, it definitely has.
He'll make a note for when there's less danger in the air to ask Razvan to possibly identify it to tell him what it does, but right now he's mostly focusing on keeping spells to keep people alive.
Yeah, you get the sense that when you're actually in Skald, you'll probably have a moment to have that conversation. But for now, with new danger on the horizon, I don't want to speak for Hephaestion, but I would like to think that there's this sense amongst the captain and amongst the crew that speed and making time is now highest priority.
Probably.
Yeah, anything else that I would think to do is not on the forefront of his mind at this time.
For sure. And you all get the sense that if there is something to be done, it can also be done when you are hidden in a way. and that is where we will bring to on the day that you all collectively know you are heading towards the dock of Skald. I ask, do you cast Pass Without a Trace, and do you use your invocation?
The invocation is at will, so I think as long as I think Clem would continuously check with Ephestiel, but as long as Ephestiel is still wanting us to kind of stay hidden, stay quiet, and move quietly, then I would be using that basically at will or on cooldown as much as often as possible. I would also have Omen just occasionally do like radar loops around the ship just to keep an eye out.
Absolutely. And like I said, it seems that for the time being you have effectively lost the ship, but you aren't necessarily sure for how long. They were going in the opposite direction, that's for sure, at least at the time. The reason I ask is because upon the final day of your time in the Sing Song River, there's one thing that you notice as you start closing in the city literally on the horizon, with the cliffs overhead towering, the sound of the waterfall and the sight of it overhead visible enough that you could see that you are where you need to be. You notice something odd. In the direction of the lower wharves, which is where you took off from, you notice that there is a line of ships and boats waiting, paused. And as you come across this line, the dock in view, and with a question of what did you just enter yourselves into in the process of fleeing, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh boy.
Oh, lovely.
Hey.
I have
Very
a multiple
excellent job
concern.
tonight.
We did it.
We did it.
Did we oops
We
all
did it.
piracy?
Oh.
But you know that was a great time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It
Y'all
is
made some
good to
decisions
be
tonight. Very good. Yeah, y'all did great tonight. Very good session. Very good job.
Finally let out all our pent up roleplay.
I mean,
It's like it's been a month.
It was good though. Really, really good session.
No, thank you for running.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for playing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making this game possible. Literally could not do it without you guys.
Well, we could also
You could.
do
It
that
would just be
too.
very strange.
Hey, I've watched a few single person TTRPG streams before. They're actually pretty entertaining.
There you go.
I bet you could pull it off, Saris.
I'm seeing the chat right now. I'm acknowledging it. I am refusing to comment.
Listen,
All
Rock
those
Bottle, if we had cannons, I would be so much more ready for this.
Chat? What chat? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go around the horn and de-introduce ourselves, y'all. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Hi, it's me, Xanalos Grim. I shield everything beforehand, but if you want to know what I'm up to when I'm up to it, you check my Blue Sky, Xanalos Grim, where I post everything I do when I do it. But aside from that, if no one's told you I love you, allow me to be the first today. I love you very much. Thank you for coming out and sharing your time with us. That is me, and I will bequeath the skull to Skelly.
Oh, I will take Skull. Hi, everybody. I'm Skelly Alpha. You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky under the same names. I stream just about every day, doing mostly arts, tabletop prep and running tabletop, and the occasional fun indie game or blocky game like Minecraft. This coming week, I've got the schedule nearly ready. The first 2 days are going to be some lovely West March prep, getting that back up and running in my Discord. I've got 30 plus players waiting in the helm, ready to go again. Later in the week, I'll be doing some fun art stuff with Tixtixel here, as well as Blue Kazanate. And this weekend, next weekend rather, we will be back to Threadbare Suits with Leah at the helm. And I will pass the skull over to what dice? I've been rolling dice a lot lately. I'm gonna pass it to Kaz.
Hi, I'm Kaz. You can find me at whoa, okay. I brain blanked. You can find me I'm tired. You can find me at Catastrophe Cause at Instagram and Blue Sky, and the Sarcastic Vision also on Instagram and Blue Sky. I finished seam ripping my sleeves.
Yay!
Be proud of me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go not do that for the rest of the night, which is cool. But yeah, that's it. That's me. That's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna pass our skull along to Saris.
Hi, hello. You can find me all over the internet at Tixtixel. Monday we got possibly games with the amusing Thalia and everybody who joins in with that. Wednesday, that's right, I almost forgot. We got some art with Skald Alpha. Jeez, busy week, I guess. Friday we got more Cazador's Guide to the Cosmos over at Distortion Devil's channel, and then Saturday we got a double header with No Love War Extra here at this channel that you're watching right now. And then some more of the Lost and the Found over on my channel immediately afterwards. Anything else that I got working on, you should see on the social medias, on the Blue Skies and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I got. And I'm gonna pass it to Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah, aka Amusing Thalia. We got games tomorrow on my channel with some friends. Probably back to it with Nier, fingers crossed. But I never want to commit because, sometimes people are tired on the day. Other than that, you can find me floating around on other people's channels doing other TTRPG stuff like Suits and the aforementioned Guide to the Cosmos. Thank you all for being here today, and once again, I want to thank you for spending what limited time we have here on this plane with us today. It is appreciated. I hope you have a good one. I'm gonna dribble the skull, and Zan, have you gone yet?
I have gone. I was the first one to go.
Okay, you were the first one to go. Wanted to double check. Then I believe Skelly, Saris, and Kaz have all gone, so it's just back to our lovely host, the one, the only, Brenna Vaughn.
Did Kaz
Well,
go?
thank.
I think
Yes.
Kaz went. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear him go again.
No.
Kaz, go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll message you privately, Zan.
Okay, cool.
But hi, you've already found me here at
Said Zan, your
twitch.tv/burnout.
Sorry, Vaughn.
You're fine. You're fine. You can find me on Blue Sky on YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon Burnout's Bar. Yeah, pretty much everything I do has actually been said by somebody else because I'll be over at Leah's channel tomorrow. I will be over on. We will be back here on Saturday for No Love War Extra, and then here again for Threadbare Suits. But hopefully Tuesday. Fingers crossed. If the planets align, gonna sit down in the afternoon, start, and then try to get through the last remaining couple hours of Resident Evil 9, which it's been a ride. I want to stay as Leon with my powerful gun that saves me from everything. Please let that be it. I love you, Grace, but you are terrible for my anxiety. But with that out of the way, I see someone on who's not usually on when we stream, so I figure we'll raid them when Mr. Gaijin Goomba.
Gaijin's
yeah.
Goomba?
Oh, there's
The
two of them.
Goomba de Gaijin.
Yeah, they seem to be doing Mouse the Private Investigator. So
Game's
what's
great.
your rating?
Boomer shooter, 1930s
A
aesthetic.
lot of good things.
Those who ponder.
Those who ponder.
That's a good raid message. All right, thank you all for coming out. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.